Once upon a time, in a kingdom draped in perpetual twilight, there lived a princess known as Selene, the Princess of Sorrow. Her kingdom, Alaris, was renowned for its beauty, with shimmering lakes, endless forests of silver trees, and skies that never brightened to daylight nor darkened to night. It was a place of eternal dusk, where the sun hovered just below the horizon, casting a soft, melancholic glow across the land. Selene was as beautiful as her kingdom, with long, silvery hair and eyes as deep and dark as a moonless night. Yet her beauty was shadowed by a profound sadness that had enveloped her heart since birth. Legends said that the day she was born, the queen had passed away, leaving the infant princess in the care of a grieving king. The loss had seeped into Selene's soul, and she had grown up under the weight of her mother's absence, becoming a beacon of sorrow to all who knew her. Despite her melancholy, Selene was kind and gentle. She wandered through the kingdom, offering comfort to those in pain, for she could sense sorrow in others as if it were her own. She spent her days visiting the sick, consoling the heartbroken, and easing the burdens of her people. Yet, no matter how much love she gave, her own heart remained heavy. One evening, as Selene walked along the shore of the kingdom's largest lake, she encountered an old woman sitting by the water's edge, her back bent with age, her eyes clouded with time. The princess knelt beside her, sensing a sorrow deeper than any she had felt before. "Why do you weep, dear grandmother?" Selene asked softly, her voice like a whisper carried on the wind. The old woman looked deep into the princess's eyes. "You must find the source of your sorrow and confront it. Only then can you free yourself and your kingdom from the eternal twilight." With those words, the old woman faded away, leaving Selene alone by the lake, her heart pounding with newfound purpose. Determined to break the curse, Selene embarked on a journey deep into the heart of Alaris, to the place where sorrow had first taken root. She traveled for days, through shadowy forests and across mist-covered hills, until she reached a forgotten castle hidden in the mountains. The castle was in ruins, its walls crumbling, its towers broken, but Selene knew this was where the curse had begun. As she entered the castle, she felt the weight of sorrow pressing down on her, stronger than ever before. In the great hall, she found a mirror, tall and ancient, its surface cracked and tarnished. It was the mirror of despair, a relic from a time long past, said to reflect not one's appearance, but the deepest sorrow of their soul. Selene stood before the mirror, her reflection distorted by the cracks. As she gazed into it, the sorrow within her began to swell, and she saw visions of her mother, the queen, weeping on her deathbed. She saw her father, the king, shattered by grief, unable to love his daughter as he had once loved his wife. She saw herself, growing up in the shadow of their sadness, absorbing their pain until it became her own. Tears streamed down Selene's face as she realized that the sorrow she had carried all her life was not hers to bear. It was the grief of her parents, passed down to her like a heavy chain. And in that moment, she understood that she did not need to carry it any longer. With a deep breath, Selene reached out and touched the mirror. As her fingers brushed the glass, the cracks began to heal, and the sorrow that had weighed down her heart for so long began to lift. The eternal twilight that had blanketed her kingdom began to fade, and for the first time in living memory, the sun rose over Alaris, bathing the land in warm, golden light. The curse was broken, and with it, Selene's sorrow. She returned to her kingdom, no longer the Princess of Sorrow, but the Queen of Dawn, bringing light and hope to her people.